Hello and welcome to another National Bee Supplies video. In this film we're going to be showing you how to assemble a commercial brood chamber. The assembly for the super is exactly the same, so if you need to do a super you can still follow along with this video. Tools you're going to need: a rubber mallet, it's useful, hammer, tape measure, a punch, obviously some glue, a ruler and a pencil we might use, we might not. And sash cramp is useful, but we'll try and get away without it because I know not everybody's got one of these. In your pack, very simply, you should have your set of runners and then your 4 jointed pieces of wood, 2 of which will have rebates in and 2 won't. So just check that before you start putting glue everywhere. And obviously your pack of nails. So the first thing we have to do is just apply glue to all these joints. So I'm going to put these pieces back to back like that. And then just fill all these joints with glue. Okay, so that's all the joints coated now then. It's ready to assemble the box. It seems really stupid to say, but do please check that the handle parts end up on the outside. I have seen these boxes put together and nailed where they've ended up with the handles on the inside of the boxes. You wouldn't think you'd have to mention it, but I have seen it. The same with these parts. Just make sure that the rebate that takes the runner is going to end up on the inside of the box. Again, I've seen them done the wrong way round and then people are trying to smack them apart again. It sounds obvious, but just check it. And they just slot in like that. And I'm just going to knock it together with the rubber mallet. If you don't have a rubber mallet, you can use a block of wood and just a normal hammer. If you hammer the cedar, you may well dent it because it's quite soft timber. Okay, so I'm going to start by nailing what I would call the bottom joints together. And this is where in the workshop we would use some sash clamps and we'd clamp the box up to make sure it doesn't move while we put the nail down through these joints. But we're going to assume we don't have one of those. So we're just going to have to do the best we can with holding it together with our hand. Just taking the edge off the nail to stop the wood from splitting. And then we're going to go straight down through these joints. So I'm just going to press that in and just hold it. While I nail that down and go around and do all 4 corners. So the top joints are a little bit more difficult because we're going to try and hit this thinner piece of wood here. So just be careful, take your time. If you're going to use sash cramp and you're pulling on here, again be careful that you don't pull these sides in so much that you then make it too tight for the top bar to fit inside the box. You want to try and make this joint flush as you're nailing it in. Okay. Now I'm just going to go around and punch all these nails in. Okay, I'm just going to clean the glue out of in here now. And now I'm going to check that our box is nice and square, measuring the angles. And we'll check the underneath. Okay, so the last thing we've got to do is just to put the runners in. These are dead easy, just fit in there. We're going to use 4 of our little pins to hold them in place. Just trying to get the gap the same at each end with these. So that's your commercial brood chamber finished. You might want to check it again now for square, it's up to you. You can see the outside's all covered in glue now. I don't have to worry about that because I've got a nice big sander next door, so we're just going to sand it off nice and flush afterwards. If you're doing it at home, just get a bucket and a cloth and then you can wipe off all this excess glue before it dries. But that's it finished.